Back in the 90s, while I was researching youth street gangs, I coined the phrase the 5H Club. Helpless, hopeless, homeless, hungry, and hugless, to try to explain why so many kids wound up in gangs. I never imagined those same 5H's would apply decades later to people living on our streets, but they do, only now it's not just young people it applies to, it's women, men, veterans, entire families. Tonight, more than 500,000 Americans are unhoused. In Arkansas, over 2,600 of our neighbors sleep without shelter, and in Little Rock, we see the need grow faster than the help. These are lives shaped by the 5H Club, and no safety, no support, and no dignity. Nationally, nearly 38% of homeless adults are alcohol dependent, and more than 25% struggle with drug addiction. Many also battle untreated mental illness, a pairing you see frequently in chronically homeless individuals. Those realities are hauntingly familiar to me and to those we see on the street. The pain fuels the H's. You might hear that more homeless people means more crime, but research shows the opposite to be true. Homeless individuals are much more likely to be the victims of crime, not the perpetrators. They face assault, theft, and harassment almost every day. The cycle of being exposed, vulnerable, and yes, hugless. One Arkansan refuses to let these stories go untold. Aaron Reddin, the founder of The Van and parent nonprofit The One, has been called a crazy guerrilla homeless advocate for good reason. He spent nearly 2 decades in the trenches taking supplies directly to the unhoused, distributing clothing and hygiene kits, and offering care with no limitations or judgment. He's unfiltered, he's confrontational with power, and he works relentlessly. He stood toe-to-toe with officials to fight for a no-barrier emergency winter shelter in Little Rock, something the Van is working this very day to secure. Aaron knows the 5H Club better than almost anyone because he's spent years seeing its summit and valley every single day. Now, solutions are out there. Utah and cities across the country have applied housing first, providing housing unconditionally, then layering in services like mental health care, addiction, treatment, job training. And the results? Chronic homelessness dropped by more than 70%. Imagine applying that here combined with the grit and realness of advocates like Aaron Reddin. In Little Rock, Providence Park is expanding services. Mercer, Arkansas is building the youth shelter. The station and our house continues to offer housing pathways to families. But the Van fills the gaps, meeting people in their reality without judgment, without delay, with no rules, no apologies, just help. So here's the challenge. Will we keep passing by or will we step up? Homelessness is not inevitable, it's fixable, but only if we confront the 5H Club, helpless, hopeless, homeless, hungry, and replace it with hope, housing, and hugs. Volunteer, support the Van or the One, donate, advocate for housing first, and reach out. Sometimes a single conversation, a kind moment, changes everything. I'm Steve Navoychek. Thanks for listening to this opinion. If it moved you, like, share, and subscribe. But beyond that, let's get involved because the road out of the 5H Club begins with us.